What a exclamation of agony. What a way to kick us off into the fray of the Agony Booth, where we, Jason and me, Captain Joe Dove, talk all things Star Trek, even the painful ones, in the aforementioned Captain's Quadrant. This week, my co-hosts have changed their names as so often. This week, our three-time Sandrine Twist champ, coming all the way from Texas. How are you, sir?
I am not good.
No, because you had to suffer through this once again.
I stopped watching it 15 minutes ago, and I'm not well. There is no joy in the world anymore.
No, it's tough. It's tough. And of course, hailing from Australia, the land down under, our good friend and leader of Australia. People don't realize that yet. That's so Jason, science officer Jason.
I'm very conflicted this week.
Really?
Because as much as I want to hate this episode, I don't think I completely do hate this episode.
Really?
I think some of this I actually like it, and I feel great shame.
Wow. Interesting. Well, let's get into it, shall we?
Have a look at the synopsis.
Yes. A spatial distortion phenomenon is occurring inside the ship. Changes Voyager's structural layout by twisting and compressing it. Season 2, Episode 6, Twisted.
Season 2 of Voyager was really rough.
It was.
It had some
Wasn't that
stankers
other episode?
in it. Yeah, Threshold was part of this.
Right?
It had some good ones, but they're just completely overshadowed by just the hogwash that got flushed out of the writer's room. Somebody was paid money to write this, and that depresses me.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I think we should just kick into it. What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's go.
That's how I felt after watching it.
Yeah. Right. All right, so let's get the overall thoughts of the episode right out of the way. That's so Jason, kick it off for us this week.
Yeah, look, it's like I said, it's dumb. You can't get across the fact that the storyline's dumb. There are so many dumb things happening there. There are characters that seem to appear from nowhere.
Yes.
And have a bit of a part in the show.
Yeah.
And then disappear just as quickly.
Yeah.
Are we all thinking about the same guy?
Yeah.
Look,
That security dude. Who was that?
Yeah.
This guy.
He just came out.
Who are you?
Hey, buddy, how you doing? I'm head of security. We have a
So
security
he's there,
team?
and then he's here.
Yeah.
And he turns up in the transporter room. Now, he signifies this episode in many ways, because it's like,
It's
what
twisted.
is kind of going on? Why?
Who is?
Yeah.
Somebody's intern, like I don't know, lost a lot of weight or, won a bet. I don't know.
Well,
it's like, hey, Brandon Braga, guess what? I'm 3 weeks sober. Hey, we're putting you in the episode.
Yeah.
Which one? Twisted. Oh, okay.
He's a character that in a normal episode you'd go, oh, he has something. He's either the villain in disguise, or he's got something to do with the overall resolution of this story. This guy has none of that.
No. He's just
He had no weight.
Lieutenant
no
Space Filler.
plot,
Yeah.
Nothing to this episode whatsoever.
And what's funny to me is, like, I looked at the next episode, just like, I don't remember this guy at all. Or maybe he was like a character that died off. Maybe he died in the next episode. He wasn't even in the next episode. It was like,
Unbelievable.
yeah.
Well, he
like,
wasn't
what the
that good of an
hell?
actor either, so maybe they were just like, it's okay, we don't need you back. It's fine.
Maybe.
Did anyone else groan when they went for the whole subplot of... I know it's dealing with Niels's jealousy, and that's fine. I have no problem with what Niels goes through. In fact, one of the stronger parts of the episode is you kind of understand his perspective. You're just over... Even at season 2, I'm over the Kess, kind of three-way love affair with Tom Paris and Niels.
I was never over it because I never got on board with it in the first place.
Neither did I. And by the way, why wasn't he chastised? Who buys somebody else's girlfriend a locket?
Yeah, that was weird.
That was scummy.
Yeah,
That's like a
really,
low
it was like,
And I didn't like it because you make Tom Paris. That reflects on Tom Paris's character.
What I wanted to know is, did Tom put a picture of himself in there for her?
Oh, I have no idea. Oh, a dick pic, probably.
Yeah.
That would have been that would have been a great moment. Just Kess opens it and goes, "You're covering up my improv. What are you doing?"
Sorry.
Kess opens it and just kind of goes, rips out the picture and just does not lose eye contact with Paris the whole time. Rips out the picture and just.
Oh, I thought you were going to say actual size.
Oh man, that would be funny.
I'll let you go there. I won't.
Yeah, no, I know.
And I was also like expecting. Sorry to cut you off, but I was also like.
That's 90% of this show is us cutting each other off. It's fine.
But
it's fine.
We love each other. So.
We are all Tom Paris in that regard.
Oh my god! And the other thing was like, is Tom Paris trying to be the Riker of this series? Because it's just not working.
A little bit, but it's not working.
Tom Paris was the Han Solo of early Voyager. He was the scoundrel. He was the too sure of himself pilot. He was Han Solo. They cut that out after a couple of seasons, but that's what they were going for here.
Yeah.
The other thing I've got to complain about is Catherine Janeway, our young leading actress. Her performance this episode is not great.
No,
it is not great. It's not one of, and she's a wonderful actress.
She is.
And she's the cornerstone of the series, but she was phoning it in this week.
Well, in her defense, she did read the script.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've got the right clip here. Let me have a look. Look at this for eye acting.
It kind of looks like. Is that a bee? Is that a bee? Is that bee?
Like,
did I leave the iron on?
Oh my god, it's bad. And then she wakes up. I mean, at one point, remember, she's gone through the thing, the phase. What's the name for it?
Oh man,
the ring.
The ring. Yeah,
the ring. Yeah. That's my favorite part of this whole episode is that it's a ring surrounding the ship, a ring, and they can't figure out how to get out of it. Don't have to go through it. Just go up. Go up. You're in 3-dimensional space, Tuvok. You're a Vulcan. You should know better.
Now, was she excited to be twisted, or because I got a weird...
well, there's the bit with the arm. What is her arm?
Yeah, it was, but the noises she made, it was unsettling.
Wait.
Like, it was like, wait, is she being aroused, or like what was happening?
I think it was actor sarcasm, to be honest. You want me to do what? Okay, fine. Is that enough? Can I go to lunch?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I felt that from Dakota in this episode. It was like, what, I'm going to be in this scene? All right, okay. Let's get over this scene. I'll be at craft services.
Yeah.
Chakotay phoned it in too.
Yeah,
they all did. They all did.
Yeah. Except for Neelix. But I'll talk about
that.
Phillips.
Ethan Phillips gave his all to everything.
Yeah,
that man was just
like,
yeah.
I am so happy to be here, guys. Thank you so much for making me a part of this show. I'll cook for you. I'll wear these silly suits. Let's go.
Look, there's a lot more to complain about with this episode, but I think
but go for it. Go for it.
Oh, no, go move on. Go for the 3-time Sandra and Twitch champion. I'm sure he's got a bit to say.
Yeah, let go for it.
What did I think of the episode? It was stupid. That's it. It was stupid. It was bad writing decisions all the way through. I think at this point they were trying to make Voyager weird and different and just say, we're on the other side of the galaxy, we're going to get as weird as possible. And they tried to get as weird as possible without using their brains once, because this episode is so inconsistent with its own logic that they're in the holodeck, and the ship is going to get crushed, and according to them the entire ship has been crushed except for the holodeck, and they keep leaving to go to other parts of the ship.
Yeah.
And then they come back and they're like, oh no, we have 3 minutes before we're crushed along with the rest of the ship. Wait a minute.
So that means everybody else is dead.
Yeah,
right?
Is everyone dead? What's going on? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't what do you think is going on, mister? I can't fly the ship out of the top or bottom of a ring. It's not like you had one direction to go. You had a choice of two, and you chose to go through the band. You're fired, Tuvok. You're just fired. Turn in your pips and get out of here.
Yeah, you're right. Tuvok's pretty dumb in this episode, too.
They're all dumb.
Yeah.
They're all okay. We had that gigantic scene where Chakotay and Tuvok are trying to find their way out, and Tuvok gives this monologue about, if we keep going right, we'll eventually map out the entire maze. And then he goes around a corner and comes back behind Chakotay, and Chakotay says, well, how does your logic count whenever the maze walls are always moving? And then immediately they're back on the holodeck, and Harry goes, well, why don't we just make a map with our tricorder data? That'll tell us what the ship looks like. And I'm sitting there going, did nobody just watch the scene before this?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ship is moving. It's not gonna matter.
And by the way, Dakota, it's a bit of a dick move to make that comment, by the way, too. I mean, like, you're all stuck in it. Everyone knows it's weird, but no, Dakota's got to have a dig at Tuvok.
Which time? There were so many dings at Tuvok.
It's just, especially that scene, too. It's like, why say it? Like, what do you gain from saying, having a go, one of his core tenements of his species is logic, you got to take a swipe?
I don't know. There were so many bizarre choices in this episode. I gotta admit, though, I did like Minion Janeway. Whenever she jumps up and she's going, banana! I thought that was just... Voyager's so far ahead of its time, it predicted the rise of minions.
Yeah.
I thought it was just... I think we all would take... solace in that scene, because isn't that like what we wake up after drinking a bottle of tequila? Isn't that exactly what you go through?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like that just whenever I drink up. Whenever I wake up, I'm like that.
Yeah.
Good morning.
There is one thing I have to say in this one too. The end of the episode. How bad is the end of this episode where it's like, oh, that must have been a species. They were making first contact. Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome, except for the writing
and the acting and the season. No, I agree. The ending was supposed to be a twist ending, but it just it hit like a wet sponge. And they're all on the bridge. They're all amazed, like, oh my goodness, they were trying to make contact. And I'm just sitting there in my easy chair going, how? Can't you figure out a better way to do this? Yeah, hey, I want to say hi. I'm going to rearrange the rooms in your house and make you think you're going to die. Hi.
Terrible.
All right, Captain.
You
got the comms, mate. What did you think?
It's just so stupid.
This one,
so stupid.
The faux,
I'm sorry. It's, oh, God.
The heavy faux science in this episode is what stood out to me at first, and I'm like, oh, the quantum rip, the spatial anomaly, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, all right, we're gonna get somewhere with this. This is gonna be interesting. I was like, maybe this isn't as bad as like, the Eden episode. Maybe we're a level above. And then the scene where she's, I don't know, got the pleasure sensor twists when she goes into that pylon. It's like, and I was like, what happened? Who wrote this? And I'm looking around my apartment.
That was $50,000 for that budget for that.
Yeah, exactly.
It would have been early CGI.
Yeah. Well, look how we twisted Janeway's arm, and look how much he is disliking or really enjoying. I don't know. Take your pick.
I just get this image of her sitting in her makeup trailer that morning going, what am I supposed to say today? Who wrote this garbage?
Yeah.
Somebody call my agent.
Yeah, Kate Mulgrew is a fantastic actress, and I really appreciated her work post-Voyager. But watching this episode was just like, ooh, this was painful. Like
you can sense the frustration from her and a lot of the other actors.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's hard. It's hard to come to work knowing that you're producing crap,
garbage. Yeah,
it's hard. And they at this point they were producing a steady stream of very bad episodes.
And I also want to
flagship show for its era too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I also want to point out, speaking of which, you remember how stone-faced Sisko, Bashir, and Kira were in Move Along Home?
Yeah.
Well, we returned to those stone faces in the Chakotay. The only person that emoted anything besides Niels, of course, was Harry Kim, and he still didn't get promoted.
I know it. Even Janeway made it time to tell him how much she appreciated him, and you're the one bright part of this entire mission.
Yeah.
Cool. Do I get a promotion?
No.
No. No. No.
Something.
I did think it was a very sweet scene because I rewatched the pilot not too long ago, and whenever Harry went missing, Janeway has that scene with Tuvok where she says, "Did you know Harry Kim?" And he says, "No." He goes, "I barely knew him. I never seemed to know any of them. I need to make time to know them." So it felt like a continuation of that scene. So I did enjoy that scene.
Yeah, he was actually a kind of strength as well in this episode.
Yeah, Garrett Wong really that poor guy gets so much flack for this show, saying, "Oh, he had a stupid character, he had a boring character." But man, he brought it every week, and he never went, 70%, 80%. Yeah, he was
the audience.
Yeah, he was always there. So we respect Garrett Wong in this house.
You know what you just said? Congratulations, sir. You were there. You were there, sir.
You were present. Congratulations.
I'm so happy.
He was present and he was trying, though.
Yeah.
He was trying. He knew it was garbage. He had to know it was garbage. But by God, Garrett Wong was going to earn his paycheck this week. Yeah. And I think we need to be congratulating him for not only being present, but for being present, all caps.
Yes. Oh,
let's
move on.
Let's skip right forward to, because I think we've already done the next, which was why would you do that? We've already talked about. We still don't know why they did it.
No.
So let's jump straight into redeeming features.
It looks like gold. Tastes like gold.
It is gold.
All right.
What could be redeeming on this one?
Well, we kind of hinted at it, didn't we?
Yeah, Niels. Yeah, the character that I could care less about stood out as the character I liked the most in this episode. I was like, I'm going to start us off, obviously, but I was really impressed by him. His inner, battle over Kess and his, blatant.
I think anyone who's ever been in a relationship can. And hopefully when you're young you feel like this, not when you're a bit more mature, but that feeling of jealousy.
Yeah.
That he's feeling jealousy and he has doubts and he already even has guilt because he has doubts.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I did like how they were trying to show him acknowledging his own faults and trying to grow as a character without shoving it in our face either.
Right.
The only time I felt like they were trying to shove it in our face was whenever he had that conversation with Chakotay.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought Neelix was good in this episode, and I'm right there with you. With I'm so done. I never even begun with the love triangle junk that they did on the show, but. I liked that Neelix was working on himself and he was trying, because Neelix, I've said this about Neelix many times. Neelix lost everything, and so of course, as soon as he got into a relationship, he was going to hold on to it, and it was going to be almost a desperation to hold on to it. And I'm actually surprised more people don't recognize that this is not him being annoying. This is him being a trauma survivor. And because I've seen people who are trauma survivors who get into healthy relationships and they become extremely possessive, and it's sad, really.
Wow.
Yeah, 100%. And especially, and the thing is though, he really is the victim here, because, and this is the big problem I have with Tom Paris, what they do with Tom Paris here, who's a protagonist, but in this they turn him to an antagonist.
Yes.
And that's a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
From a character point of view.
He's
and
a jerkwad in this
the
episode.
actor was not happy when he read this.
I can't imagine anybody would be.
Right.
Your character is your baby, and they're making your baby the devil, basically.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really sweet. I liked the rest. Neelix was great, and I even loved the moment at the end. Because I'm a sucker for a little bit of romance. That he got to, and he handled himself with class the whole time. Neelix is getting some later. You know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's definitely getting some later.
From a 1-year-old. From a 1-year-old, no less.
Oh, come on,
Hey,
dude.
you know what? If you did not have a problem with a 200-year-old Sarek being married to a 40-year-old woman, you ain't got nothing to say about Neelix getting,
A 1-year-old.
Yeah, a 1-year-old. She's 2 in this episode.
Oh, that's right.
At least
That's
get it
right.
right.
That's right. She's and
just-
very,
just
very,
turned it.
very mature and aged.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's
This-
another. Cass is another character that was just bland the whole time.
Well,
She had no-
she's the most oblivious person ever.
Yeah.
What? Oh, what do you mean? It's a sweet like, mate, come on. Even at 2, you know that Tom is hitting on you hard.
Yeah.
This episode
She
reminded
aligned
me
with the
of.
line.
Yeah, this episode reminded me of why I liked Kess and why I didn't like Kess. Because at the very beginning, she walks into the holodeck and they have the surprise party for her, and she, being an alien, of course, says, "Why was everybody hiding? And what's a surprise party? That's part of the traditions." And instead of going, "Well, that's dumb. We don't do that on my planet," she's like, "Oh, cool. That's really neat. I like that."
Yeah.
What's this? Oh, it's a locket. You put a picture in it. Wow, that's really neat. Why would I blow out a candle? I don't know. I liked her curiosity because there was like this sweet naivety to her. And then she turns around in the same episode, and this is, I had to watch this scene twice because I was laughing. She goes, "I'm so worried about Neelix. I hope he's okay. I hope he's not dead anywhere. I love him so much."
It's so everybody
Spoken
has
like a
this
true
tone to it.
sociopath.
And I hate to rag on Jennifer Lynn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate to rag on her because I know she has had so many problems since she left the show, and I don't like punching down, but I can see why she was the wink link and why they felt like they had to get rid of Kess because she was going nowhere, and it wasn't it was not her fault.
Never
though.
great.
They weren't. There was a few that I liked. I liked the one where she was aging, jumping forward through time. I thought that one was really good.
Season 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there was an episode called Warlord, I think in season 3, that was really good, where she was like possessed by this evil like dictator.
Yeah.
And she was great in that episode. So whenever she was given good scripts, she did a good job. But yeah, this episode was definitely a reminder of why Kess was good and why Kess was not.
Yeah. What about you? That's Jason. What were some of the shining examples of this?
Oh, well, like Neelix is all about Neelix. It's all
Right.
about the fact that I found him his storyline to be the only relatable one in that episode.
Can I just say for a moment that I'm so happy I'm with 2 dudes who love Neelix as much as I do?
Yeah, I do. I like that.
Hold on, we got to have a virtual hug. All right.
I will call it out when
There's somebody in the comments right now going,
That's when I played that little clip of him dancing. That was out of love.
Yeah,
First contact day.
Yeah.
Hey, he got his moves on. I wouldn't have. He did it. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, look, it's all about Neelix this episode. I think it's also all about Harry Kim as well. Because as you were talking about Harry Kim, I'm going, you know what? Solid performance as always. Again, being someone who's like a doer, it always seems to have the logical approach to it, even though Tuvok should have all the time, but that doesn't always. No, Harry Kim was probably a standout as well, but the rest of them. Yeah, I think this is an episode. I'm sure that every time somebody asks them a question about this at a con, the actors are like, oh, we have to answer this. Because, there's no winners out of this. But, a couple of solid performances. And, Neelix saves this episode from being a complete disaster.
Yeah.
I don't really think the episode was ever destined to be a disaster, but I think it was just boring and stupid.
Yeah.
Well, maybe,
it really
maybe not
was.
a full-blown disaster like a level 7 earthquake, but it's certainly a 3. Like, there's rumblings going on of disaster on the...
Do you know what would have saved this episode, though? And it was completely... It would have been an easy fix, I think. Make it a comedy.
Yeah.
Get rid of all the danger, make it a comedy. Because they didn't have to blow the budget on anything. Just... Instead of walking in on, like, a half-naked guy, what if B'Elanna walked in on somebody on the toilet?
Yeah.
And she kind of goes... So that's where it was. I don't know. It's just something like that. I don't know. Just
how about the non-reaction of the dude when she opens the door and he's just standing there going, yes.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
yeah,
It's like,
I forgot about that.
yeah, excuse me, Lieutenant. My goodness, are you not, Lieutenant? Hello,
Yeah,
what are you doing here?
Yeah. Well, now we know she got pregnant. He was working out. He was Ben Swallow, that's for sure.
But yeah, that's it for me for the pluses. I think.
Oh, wow. That was very. Whoa. Oh, it was a tough one. Yeah. 3-time Serentine Twist champ. What was any positives for you besides Neelix?
No. No.
There was answer.
No. No. No,
Well,
there was no other pluses.
There was one other plus for me, and that's a cameo. There was a cameo.
There was a cameo?
Yeah, there was a cameo. The guy in the holodeck with the fedora playing pool.
Yeah.
He's actually one of those guys. That go, hey, I know that guy. It's one of those Leo. I know.
Yeah, he's a character actor.
Yeah. So it was nice to see him getting a role again. I was like, I know.
The older guy who kept wanting the doctor to play pool with him?
Yeah.
And by the way, shout out to the doctor fighting out. You know,
Yeah,
he's
the
just
doctor was
insatiable
insane.
to women.
Yeah.
This is one of the few episodes that I don't even like the doctor in.
Wow.
And like seriously,
Yeah, it's a cheap stunt, isn't it?
I
It's a cheap
love
stunt.
I love Bob Picardo as the Doctor. The Doctor's one of my favorite characters in Star Trek ever. In this episode, he's a whiner. He's insufferable. And yeah, I just whenever Sandrine gets tired of him, it's like, just clock out. Just play commercials for the rest of the runtime.
Well, the thing is,
I remember watching this episode in like 95 or 96 thinking, that's it, the show's getting canceled. I'm dead serious. I was just like, this show's bad. It's getting canceled now because we just come after. I think Threshold came out like before or right after this one, and it was like a 2-punch, and I was so bad. Oh my gosh! Hold on? I'm sorry. I know I keep interrupting. Do you guys remember that they ran this episode again during Christmas?
No.
And the commercial for it was so hilariously bad. Because it was, Voyager is celebrating the holidays, but they can't deck the halls because the halls keep moving. Just
Wow, I don't remember that.
That alone is one reason why I'm glad this episode exists. Because some ad exec earned his paycheck that day.
oh well, I think it's almost time, Captain. Do we move to it?
Let's do it.
Let's go to the Wheel of Agony. You know what I've just realised, guys?
What's that?
I haven't even opened the Wheel of Agony. So let's just talk about our pre-excitement as I actually get it organised.
Oh yeah.
Well, we can talk about
sorry.
the excitement that next week's Agony Booth will be the last one before Lower Decks comes back on.
That's right.
Yes.
Get some good high quality Trek here, and none of this walls is moving BS that we've been watching.
That's going to be a big one, isn't it?
And the other exciting thing is this episode is rated 7.9 out of 10 on TV.com's lists of episodes for Star Trek.
What?
How?
Really?
And
How?
and Den of Geek, which is one of the biggest premier websites around, said that in 2019 included this as an episode on binge watching guide that included a roadmap of episodes that, although not typically achieving high ratings, were still very entertaining. So those guys were definitely smoking something that week.
Yeah.
Was bad.
They ate that cake or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, there's a plus.
Is
The
that
cake
flickering
looked
for you
delicious.
guys?
Yes, it is.
Ooh, look at
That's neat,
that
isn't it?
flickering agony.
It's like the ship got attacked and the screens are flickering. You know,
Yeah.
so, yeah, we've
Try
taken
that
some
again.
damage.
We need to go up.
There we go.
Yay.
Yeah, guys.
See?
Okay, so
He
what have we
signed
got?
a toolbox.
Code
He
of
went right
Honor,
up
the
here.
Infinite Vulcan. These are the voyages.
Flight.
If we land on these are the voyages, I'm done. I'm just
Well,
letting you know.
I didn't get time. Well, I had time, but I forgot to change
Yeah,
it.
Twisted is still on there. You better not make us watch this thing
So if we
twice.
do land on Twisted,
We'll
we'll
just
have to
spin it again.
We'll spin it again. We ready, guys? Let's
Let's
do this.
go.
We're never ready.
Press that.
Wheel of Agony, turn. Show us the
Yeah.
episode that's gonna make our eyes burn.
Yeah, well, that's it. That was a good little poem. I was just thinking we need some songs, but a poem will do. Here we go. I'm
Yeah.
going to press stop. 3, 2,
2,
1.
1, stop.
Oh no!
Angel 1.
Oh,
That is
it's the Riker nipple episode.
Yes.
Riker's got nips.
Next on Star Trek. It should have been the promo.
That low V cut. Hold
Next
on.
on NBC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible. Well, we got to do it, man. So we've landed on it. So now let's talk of the aftermath.
Now, why don't you go back to your quarters? I'll be along shortly to say hello.
Say hello, right?
Those
Yeah.
eyes. Oh man, Garrett.
Angel 1. What are your memories of the first time seeing this? Before we get into it, does anyone remember the first time
this is
they
one of
watched
the
it and their
episodes that-
reaction to it?
I can go right off the bat and say this is one of the first episodes that I fell asleep on.
Okay, that's a fair take. You were just like, nah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not
I
doing
remember
this.
we had this leather couch from my grand aunt had passed away, and we
Yeah.
had this leather couch that we got from her. And my uncle started his couch collection. We'll get into that another time in a therapy
It's
session.
a heck of a way to collect things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was especially when I was moving. I got to throw out 21 couches. How am I going to do all this?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I'm sitting on the couch, and then I just remember, like it opening up. I remember like the greenery and like seeing the landscape, and then the dial. It was so much talking. I just was out. And the next thing I hear was, it's like, I missed that one. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's, and the thing is, this is halfway through the season. This episode of the first season,
Yeah.
and the stench of the old, and I don't mean this. It's supposed to sound disrespectful. I'm just going to say it. The stench of the old Star Trek writers is so within the script because it is written very much like for Star Trek from another era, not from the. And we know that in the first season they recycled a lot of scripts that they didn't use previously. Didn't
Right.
they? And this has got that stench, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
I have a funny story about this episode. I actually didn't watch it until near the end of Star Trek The Next Generation's run, because the first season of Star Trek The Next Generation, after about 4 episodes, I checked out.
Wow.
I was like, nope, show sucks. I'm not going to watch it again. And then I think Conspiracy was the episode
Code
that got
of
me
Honor
back
was
on.
the 4th episode. Sorry.
Yeah, that was the one that did it.
That was what it was.
I was sitting there going, I'm 11 years old and I can tell this is racist. But yeah, I stopped watching the show, and then I happened to watch Conspiracy, and I was just like, okay, I'm giving this show another shot. And I stuck with it ever since. And the whole of season 1, I picked out like 1 or 2 episodes every now and again and watched, but I really never watched all of them until they started running the show 5 days a week. And I guess that was around the show's 5th or 6th season, and yeah, it was in the 7th season before I saw Angel 1, and my impression of it was not good.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's certainly. I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to be a really tough ask this week. Coming to watch this one. I'm really not going to enjoy this. Like Twisted, I went, yeah, I remember it being bad, but I was kind of pseudo okay with watching it. I'm not okay having to watch this one again. I'm really not.
First season TNG is hard to get through.
Yeah,
So hard.
and we're really, this is, besides Code of Honor, to me, this is probably the bottom of the barrel. This episode.
It's raunchy. It's bad.
Yeah. Bad with sequence, you know.
Yeah.
The nipple showing, and
Yeah.
just never felt right, did it? It was uncomfortable watching it for a whole slew of reasons as a kid. I don't think I've seen this episode for 20-something years, though. I've definitely avoided it a lot.
Wow.
I haven't seen it since the early 90s. I mean, it's been
I think
a
the
long
DVD
time.
releases is when the DVD releases of these, I think I would have seen that. Just because, they cleaned it up.
Even the dog is back there going, no!
He'll have to suffer through it with me. He's ready. He's ready. I mean,
Oh, poor thing.
We got to watch Prey this weekend, and my dog is obsessed with horses.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, we're going to change
yeah.
tacks now. Prey is a great film. Great film.
Yeah, very good film. And my dog is obsessed with horses, so there's a couple of scenes where they're riding horses. My dog sits up, stares at the TV for a minute, and looks at me, and then once the horses are off the television, all right, bye, and he scurries away.
Oh, there you go.
Every time the
interesting.
dog in Prey showed up on screen and I knew the Predator was around, I got such anxiety.
Yeah.
I was just like, don't you go after that
Don't
good
kill
boy.
that dog.
Don't you
Don't
do
kill
it.
that dog.
I'll
Yeah.
shut this movie off.
Such a good
Kill
dog.
all the people you want. I don't care. Leave the dog alone. The dog must live.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
famous.
I think I just solved the plot of Twisted. We just needed to insert a predator.
Oh,
that
yeah.
episode.
Well, they have the Herosian later
That
on.
would have
Yeah.
solved the episode.
Yeah, it would have
We
been a lot
fixing
better.
it right now.
Yeah.
Go back, reshoot it, turn it,
Yeah.
throw Predator in the mix.
Hey, yeah, it's a 20th
Real good.
anniversary coming out, right? So might as well.
Boy, that would be sad. Go get Jennifer Lynn. Hey, we're gonna reshoot this. What? Huh?
All right, Kate. We want to make sure it's pain noises, not pleasure. Pain.
Yeah, I'm back here. I'm back here reshooting Twisted. Trust me, I can give you pain.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
This isn't a Prodigy recording session. What's going on here?
Yeah, right. Oh man. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for this week's episode. Let's have. You know what? I'll plug let's plug all the
Well,
socials.
we've been playing all the
Yeah,
songs.
plug them all. Oh, we spelled To Be Seen right this week. Yay!
Yay.
I fixed it.
Oh, you are the man. That's why our producers, fantabulous. Yes, I'm Captain Joe Dove, co-host of the Captain's Quadrant with my two Jasons. That might be a new show, my two Jasons. You can find me at This Dungeon for a music podcast, Captain's Quadrant for this podcast, To Be Seen for all things pop culture-esque. We do trailer reactions and movie reviews and things like that, and so much more, especially comic conversation with our boy Brandon Lou. Spectrum Sanctorum for all things on this show, including the show that the two Jasons do called The Power of J-Skull, which is
Power
quite,
of J-Skull.
Dun, dun,
which is
dun, dun,
quite
dun,
fun.
dun,
So I
dun,
highly
dun,
recommend
dun,
you
dun.
guys like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to this so you can hear that, and that will be in podcast form starting today. You can catch our good buddy and producer, Jason, That's So Jason, at Pop Culture Spread, and CQ Jason. Our often guest host, Vulcan Diver, is available sometimes, but not this week. And not for quite a few. But she's a sweetheart, and we love her, and we still chat
she's
with
working
her.
hard.
Yeah, she's saving the world. We're just living in it.
Yeah.
And of course, our mainstay, our good friend, our second Jason, or first Jason, depending on your perspective, Jason Roy Gaston. You can catch him at Jason Roy Gaston for Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and his own website at jasongaston.net, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And now I have jasonroygaston.com, which directs you to that website also. So
Oh, nice.
I'll
I'm
have
getting
to read
fancy.
we're
that. You
getting
are
there.
getting fancy.
Wow, good job. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for downloading. And do us a favor.
And,
subscribe.
Before we go to,
yeah.
before we go to, just to reiterate, this will be the last one for a little while. Coming up next week, the Agony Booth, because we're going to move into lower decks.
Yes.
Really excited about that. So
Absolutely.
just a reminder, and the Agony Booth will be back once lower decks
is over. Yeah.
And then
Unless
we've got to fill in more
unless they
time.
announce more stuff following Lower Decks during Star Trek Day, which they
It's
could very well. We could
Hey,
be
look,
getting
I know
more
we
Prodigy.
haven't
Could be
spoke
getting
about
something.
this.
I don't know.
I know we haven't spoke about this, but Star Trek Day, I think we may even do a one-off special talking about all the content that's announced that day.
Hey.
I think that's a great idea. I agree.
Yep.
Let's do it.
See, I've got it committed live on air now. They can't.
Yeah,
say
I
no.
definitely can't say no. Yeah. Let me just.
My prediction: we're going to get that spinoff we've all been waiting for. Star Trek, whoever that security officer was in the episode Twisted.
Oh,
What?
wow.
He's still lost. What am I doing here?
Yeah, still, that is the most bizarre. Yeah, I still can't understand what the purpose was.
Yeah.
It's got to be a favor, right?
Yeah. And there was another guy that just randomly showed up in that episode too, right?
Yeah, but not the same. I get 2 full scenes to interact with main cast characters, then disappear.
Yeah, never to be seen again.
Yeah. Anyway, we should have talked about this earlier. We should be signing off.
Yes. Goodbye, all. Take care. See you all.
Pray for us.
See you next time, guys.